Allow me to join the Governor of Mombasa in welcoming all of you to Kenya, especially friends who are coming from afar in our continent, in other continents, members of the Commonwealth. And as I welcome you to Kenya on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I am sure that Renson and his team have provided every assistance to ensure that this conference goes in accordance with the plan, and that each and every one of you have enjoyed the moment to share the experiences. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, all of us in this room are alive to the undeniable fact that we live in a world where the threat of transnational organized crime continues to grow in scale and complexity. Crimes such as money laundering, terrorism, and terrorism financing, including human trafficking, pose serious and escalating risks to our countries, our regions, and to the global community. The perpetrators of these crimes operate under borders, across borders, moving people, goods, and illicit money through shadowy networks, whether by smuggling narcotics between nations or trafficking vulnerable individuals across continents and laundering dirty money through intricate offshore systems. We therefore need greater vigilance, more robust partnerships, and integrated international responses to identify, investigate, and prosecute those behind these crimes. It is through such collaboration between national, regional, and international agencies that we can effectively disrupt and neutralize these threats and blunt their negative impacts. To underscore the gravity of this challenge, allow me to briefly reflect on Kenya's experience in this space. Terrorism, one of the most dangerous forms of transnational organized crime, continues to pose a persistent and evolving threat to our nation and region. Kenya has endured several devastating attacks, including the 1998 United States Embassy bombing in Nairobi, the 2013 Westgate Mall siege, as well as the 2015 Garissa University and the 2019 Dusit 2 complex attacks. However, through heightened vigilance, enhanced intelligence, and strengthened international cooperation, Kenya has made notable progress in bringing perpetrators to justice. Just last month, 2 individuals were found guilty of aiding the Dusit 2 attackers, and sentencing is scheduled for June 19th this year. In the Garissa University case, the courts in 2019 found 3 individuals culpable and were sentenced to life imprisonment and 41 years each. Currently, 24 terrorism-related cases remain active before our courts, the majority involving membership in international terrorist organizations. These efforts have not only led to successful prosecutions, but have also significantly suppressed such attacks and contribute to enhanced national security. In addition, a total of 720 cases involving trafficking in children and other persons, unlawful acquisition of travel documents, fraud and misrepresentation, facilitating illegal entry into or exit from countries, interfering with travel documents and personal effects, and trafficking in persons for purposes of organized crime were reported between 2021 and 2024. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has also registered 30 money laundering cases in the last 3 years. An in-depth analysis of these cases show that the perpetrators and criminal networks operate across multiple jurisdictions and have a presence on social media platforms. In addition, financing, facilitation, and commission are transboundary in nature. For instance, during the Dusit terrorism attack, financing was traced to banks in South Africa, various banks within Kenya and Somalia. Furthermore, criminal networks have evolved their modus operandi. In human trafficking cases, often terrorists pose as victims to facilitate the movement across borders. They also operate through sophisticated encrypted social media platforms and increasingly use cryptocurrency to finance their activities. These cases underscore the scale and complexity of the threat we face and the urgency of sustained and coordinated action. Therefore, the theme of this conference, Building Partnerships, a united front against transnational organized crimes, could not be more timely. It reflects the critical need for prosecutorial agencies to develop regional and international mechanisms to collaboratively address emerging threats. No single agency or country can confront these complex crimes in isolation. Through the exchange of knowledge and best practice, we are better able to understand the legal nuances across jurisdictions and craft innovative approaches for effective investigations and prosecutions. Mutual legal assistance and extradition remain vital pillars of this effort. They provide formal pathways for cross-border information sharing. Joint investigations allow for real-time collaboration and pooled expertise, enabling us to dismantle criminal networks more effectively. I am aware that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Kenya has signed MOUs with various prosecutorial agencies, including Azerbaijan, Morocco, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. These partnerships are instrumental in enhancing collaboration on matters relating to terrorism and terrorism financing, transnational organized crime, and in building the capacity of prosecutors to respond more effectively to these complex threats. We must also work towards the harmonization of legal frameworks, align national laws across jurisdictions is essential to building a truly global front against transnational organized crime. Equally important is the vigorous pursuit of asset tracing, confiscation, and forfeiture. Denying criminal enterprises the proceeds of their illicit activities is key to undermining their operations. I challenge the heads of prosecution agencies here to give priority to this particular endeavor. On our part, Kenya is committed to enhancing the resources and capacity of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to lead these efforts both regionally and internationally. Importantly, the revamping of our anti-money laundering and asset forfeiture framework is a testament to our commitment. It reflects our pursuit of greater specialization, stronger institutions, and high-quality investigations. The government of Kenya remains committed to upholding the rule of law and advancing a human rights-centered approach to prosecution and pursuit of justice. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference has offered a valuable platform to share experiences, learn from one another, and explore innovative solutions to the emerging threats facing our countries. I look forward to the recommendations from this gathering and assure you of the Government of Kenya's full support in funding and empowering the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution for their implementation effectively. And allow me to say one more thing. In the conversations I had earlier with friends and colleagues, the place of technology in supporting governance in general, criminal justice and prosecutions in particular, cannot be gainsaid. We have seen the evolution of use of technology in many spaces. At the moment in Kenya, we are using technology to collect our taxes. We are using technology to deploy support for farmers in our input program. We are using technology on our universal health coverage plan. We are using technology in many aspects. And we have seen the robust use of technology in the criminal justice system, in matters relating to scheduling of cases, hearing of some cases. And therefore, I want to encourage prosecutors, the directors of public prosecution in our Commonwealth, to leverage on technology and to see how we can better use technology, especially when we are tackling crimes that go beyond physical borders. Some of those crimes are committed with the support of technology. And it therefore makes sense for us to leverage on technology to deal with the challenges that today face our nations. And therefore, as we look at the future, where is the place of technology? As technology is abused by criminals and people engaging in crime, how do we better use technology to enhance the efficiency and the efficacy of what we are doing in matters prosecution and ensuring that there is the rule of law? As you are aware, the era of artificial intelligence is here with us. And it comes both as a threat, but much more importantly, as an asset for us to use to be able to better manage global governance. How do we use artificial intelligence much more effectively? There are those who say artificial intelligence is going to replace people in the workplace, maybe replace teachers, maybe replace doctors. I don't know whether prosecutors will be replaced in the process. But how do we better use artificial intelligence to deal with matters that are of a nature that physical boundaries, individual nations, individual agencies cannot deal with on their own? And therefore, the leadership of the Commonwealth, heads of prosecuting agencies, it is my encouragement to you that you begin to see how we can leverage on technology, how we can leverage on artificial intelligence to be able to support the efficiency of delivery of justice through the criminal justice system. Again, as I conclude, I also want to apologize that there is a lot of construction around. Maybe you didn't find your way to this hotel. There was a lot of dust on the way. As the governor has said, we are undertaking a lot of public works around roads in Kenya. We are currently undertaking construction of about 2,500 kilometers, including this particular road here. There is also a lot of construction around housing, markets, hostels, stadia, as we transform our region and provide for public services and goods to the people of Kenya, including social infrastructure. And therefore, bear with us as we do this. It only makes your next conference better, and we want to do that across our counties and across our country. We also are working together collaboratively within the region. I would also encourage those of us from the East African community. I see my friends from Tanzania here, and friends from Uganda, that even as we build the Commonwealth network, let's also see how we can leverage on the East African community to better coordinate action around the issues that are of concern to this conference. Let me also say that there is an opportunity within the Africa Union that as we undertake the reform of the Africa Union, we can better collaborate as countries in this region to see how we can build greater synergy in all spaces as we work on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, as we look at what our financial institutions are doing. And I think the areas of governance, criminal justice system, and prosecution should not be left behind as we build the networks to better leverage the opportunities that exist in our continent and to better deploy the assets and the resources we have, whether it is the human capital that exists in plenty in our continent or the resources, mineral and natural resources that are available in our continent, to better improve the quality of life and the place of citizens of our countries and of our region. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to declare the 23rd Commonwealth Heads of Prosecuting Agencies Conference closed. Thank you very much.